on behalf of all the graduates. James, please.
Mr. Chung Chang Yao, Mr. Michael Ting, Dr. Victor Lee, Mr. Nicholas Pugh, members of the Incorporated Management Committee, honored guests, teachers, parents, and students. How time flies. For the past 5 years, I have sat in front of the stage, performing with other brass band members, looking up at the Form 6 graduates receiving the certificates and marveling at how mature they looked. Now that it is suddenly my turn to stand on stage as the Form 6 representative, I find myself experiencing conflicting emotions, and I am certain many of you here feel the same. Firstly, and perhaps most obviously, I am filled with a great sense of accomplishment and happiness. Secondary school life is definitely not easy. It is filled with countless anxiety attacks and numerous sleepless nights. From the days of planning for dictations, quizzes, tests, uniform tests, examinations, and competitions, to others of frantically assembling our IES while preparing for mock examinations and the DSE. We have all experienced 6 years of nerve-wracking emotions. But we have all successfully made it through, so congratulations, Form 6. But how could we have accomplished all of this without the support from our teachers, parents, and classmates? For me, HKMA represents a learning environment surrounded by love and care. I recall when I was learning the recorder, piano, and saxophone while attending brass band rehearsals, swimming training, and air cadet meetings every week. I barely had time to study because of all the lessons I was participating in and all the competitions I'd entered. With so many ECAs, combined with the fact that I was poor in math and Chinese, learning became an increasingly arduous challenge. But I remember how Mr. Francis Lowe, my Form 1 math teacher, repeatedly explained the same math problem to me more than 5 times in a math tutorial room before my slow-witted brain could finally understand. I remember how Ms. McGregor sacrificed her lunch times to practice for a public speaking contest with me. I remember how some of my closest friends, such as Akash, Alec, and Aaron, listened to me rant on and on about my personal woes in the McDonald's across the street. And I remember even Mr. Pugh constantly gave me study tips throughout these 6 years and told me to relax. These are just a few examples of the care I received at the school. No words can express the deep gratitude I have towards all my teachers, parents, and classmates who have been there for me for all these years. I really must take this opportunity to thank them all here once again. So ladies and gentlemen, more than happiness, today I feel a very strong emotion that I cannot ignore. More than anything else, today I feel lucky. I feel lucky because I received an outstanding education based solely on my performance in primary 5 and 6. I received superior teachers and additional resources compared with other schools, not only in Hong Kong, but also around the world. As students, we throw around empty platitudes, such as, we earned this, or we deserve this, most likely because it makes us feel better about ourselves. But this simply isn't true. We could never accomplish all these achievements without the support of our teachers, parents, and classmates. From school trips to rural areas in China, such as Zhangjiajie, I've witnessed that people who work much harder than we could ever imagine will never have the opportunities that lie in front of us. With the release of the HKDSE results next week, we will all go on our separate paths. Some of us may get into university, while some of us may not. But regardless of whatever path we may take, we must always remember that the opportunities we have are endless. The late British Prime Minister Winston Churchill once said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Opportunities multiply as they're seized. As long as we work with unceasing determination to accomplish something worthwhile in our lives, rewards will follow. Don't sit back when you're 30 years old and suddenly realize that time doesn't wait for you. We must always focus on the present. We should never worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough troubles of its own. As long as we focus on the present and do everything in our power to overcome present hurdles, we can live a life of no regrets. Lastly, I would like to urge all of my fellow Form 6 graduates and other schoolmates here to do community service regularly, no matter how busy it may be. There are always people in society who are worse off than we are, and it is our responsibility to give back to the society that has nurtured us for more than a decade. Only if we live a life of determination and, most importantly, compassion, will we be able to say we lived a fruitful and meaningful life. So why don't we all take some time to reflect on what we really, really want and live life like we've never lived it before. Thank you.